Hello there. Dave here again. And oh, yeah, thing's going. Okay, it's going. All right. Dave here again. Number two. Oh, last time I talked about 509 public pension systems. I found someplace else where it says 596. So maybe there were different years and they changed some, but it's a lot. And that serves two purposes. It keeps unions very happy because that's very important here in Minnesota. And two, it separates all this information so nobody knows what's going on. One of my main questions when I call people and I ask is how much money did taxpayers have to spend above the matching, which is fine? And people can't tell you. There's no one place that can find out how much taxpayers' money is going anywhere. Okay, years ago, Minnesota leaders decided to pick defined benefit pension plans. There's others, but they picked this one. It is the best and the worst at the same time. It is the best for the 13% of Minnesota workers that work for the government. It is by far the best. They have money coming to them over and above Social Security, which I get, until they die. And it's based on their high five wages. And there's a multiplier. It's a little complex, but they get good money until the time they die. So that it's called the Golden Cadillac, gold-plated, whatever. It's a fantastic thing. So it's the best for them. Now, it's the worst for taxpayers. Anytime there's a mistake in the pension system, anytime something goes wrong, the taxpayer has to pay. And that happens a lot. Every time there are little schemes to get more at taxpayers' money, something goes wrong or it works, taxpayers pay more money. Number three's coming up, and that's a doozy. That's just one way that you'll see how leaders have finagled to be an outlier again and get at your taxpayer money, okay? One thing I was going to say is that these golden Cadillacs, I don't think it's true now. Maybe it can't happen. My buddy's dad died a few years ago. He was a teacher. When he died, he was making twice what he was when he was working, when he retired. Now just think about that. That is amazing. That can happen. I think they've cut that back now because somebody realized, oh, no, we've gone too far. This is too far. They've gone way too far. But that's just one example that I know. I only know because I got this buddy, he's a friend of mine. And secrecy is a big part of pensions. They don't want you to know what's going on. Like I said, you can't find out information about how much taxpayers spend. Let me give you an example about secrecy in Minnesota. How many of you believe that Minnesota has an $8 billion surplus? Yeah. I mean, how many times have you heard it from how many different sources? There are teams of people trying to get you to believe that. I think last time I talked about Bloomberg, 100 billion unfunded and 18 and 40, 50. I mean, we're always underwater, except for some reason that I don't understand. States don't have to state their debts. And I don't get it. I don't know why. Ask somebody. Somebody tell me why it is. It's not going to make any sense to me because it's so unfair. Everybody listening to this, individuals have to do that. If you tried to do that at a bank and didn't show them your debts when you went for a loan, it'd be called fraud, I think, or something like that. But the states get away from it. There's a very powerful committee called the Legislative Commission on Pensions and Retirement. They make a lot of the recommendations to legislators. There's legislators on the committee. I testified last spring at it. I had some complaints about the way they did business, and it's a very lonely experience. It was scary and sweaty, and even on a remote thing, it was quite an experience, but I'm glad I did it. And these people have regulatory capture. I mean, they make the laws. They make a lot of laws every year about all these different pension plans. And for years, I thought that everybody followed the laws, the statutes. Well, then I find rather recently that no, these groups, they break the laws too. They break the statutes and they get away with it. I'll post some of that I'll post some of that when I get going on the postings that you'll see. And so they make the laws and people break the laws. And your tax money goes up in air for you. They get it. I got to tell you something. This is important. This is when I realized when the light went on for me. This is my light went on experience. I think I told you how, or maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay, that's this time. I was going through the minutes of the LCPR from 10, 15 years ago, something. It doesn't matter because nothing really changes. And an expert walks in and tells them, if you keep doing business the way you're doing, if you keep doing this discount rate the way you're doing, which, by the way, no private company can do, but only public, the pension people can get away with it, and I don't know why. If you keep doing this, it's not going to go well. You're going to fail. So he leaves the room. Then they have a vote. And everybody goes, yes, I think it was unanimous, let's fail. And I'm going, what in the world is this? Well, then the light went on. They want to fail. Why do they want to fail? Because if you fail, that means you need a large, massive taxpayer bailout. Yeah, more of your money goes because they fail. Now, that took me a while to digest, but now that makes sense because this is how they get at a lot of your taxpayer dollars. They fail. Now, you people have probably been on committees. I've been on committees. I have never gone into a committee meeting and thought, I'm going to fail. That's just, you got to open your mind to the possibility that our leaders are incredibly greedy. The plan administrators, the union people, and the legislators. They're after your money. My number 3 video, that'll show you an example, just one example. It's a doozy. It shows you what they are capable of. And I think that's it for today. Just one little more information and background about what you're going to find out about. And I hope you're interested and tell people. And bye-bye. Dave.